Hi there guys, Neil at Italia Autos here. Welcome back to another video on my channel. Now behind me we have an Alfa Romeo Spider on a T-plate, so 98, 99, so it's getting on quite a bit now. We're 24, 25 years old. Where is the time going? I'm going to be checking this one over today because I have a customer that is looking at quite possibly buying it. The price of the car is going to be £5,500 with a new clutch fitted and some bodywork done to it. But I think it might need a little bit more than that doing to it, so let's have a look over it and see how it's doing. Let's start by having a quick look around the bodywork, because as it's red they do tend to fade. It could do with a good polish on the bonnet because you can see loads of light scratches. It doesn't look too faded, to be honest. The windscreen has no cracks in it. Needs some new wiper blades. A little bit of corrosion on the mirrors, a little bit of corrosion coming around the windscreen scuttle panel, but that is quite common on cars of this age. Alloy wheel has no marks on it, just missing the rubber cap. Looks like a brand new tyre on the front. A little bit of overspray on the under arch there, so the front bumper I would say has been painted at some point. A little bit of bird poo. There's a dink here. Masses of lacquer peel on the hood cover. The boot lid is fading. I couldn't really tell that outside, but now it's in the workshop. It has faded. The rear boot lid is fading also, so there are two panels I hadn't considered that would be fading. The hood itself has some crinkling here. That normally happens with age. There's no holes on the felt material itself. The rear screen is a little bit cloudy. Somebody's put a badge on there at some point, sticker, which has now been taken off. There's a little bit of masking tape on here, or electrical tape or something, probably blocking a little hole or something there. Again, more of the lacquer peel. Plenty of scratches on there, so it just needs a good bit of bodywork into it. Some rust on the edge of the door here where it's been clipping on walls and stuff like that. There's dinks and dents. There's a nasty chip mark there, touch-up mark. There are some dinks in there as well, if I can remember rightly. It looks like it's got 4 brand new tyres. All the alloy wheels are in good order, but missing the valve caps. Rear light is undamaged. Rear badge is faded and could do with replacing. Quick look on the interior now. Door card is pretty much undamaged, a few light marks there. Speaker cover is missing the cover. A few scrapes and scratches inside there, which is normal with getting in and outside of the car. This bit of trim just needs velcroing back up there. There you go. Driver's seat is in good condition. The vehicle's covered 73,000 miles, but I do believe it's had a few years sitting standing still. We've got the original stereo in it. There's the passenger seat. Everything looks original. Now let's have a look under the bonnet. All looks relatively clean. Some parts are getting a little bit rusty. You can see on the mount down there and the mounts around there. That is really common for going rusty. Coolant bottle is a little bit dirty on the inside. It has coolant in that, but I'd say that could do with changing. It looks like a funky colour to me. The brake fluid, which I can't get the lid off. Yes, I can. Yep, brake fluid needs changing. And post steering fluid. Yeah, that could do with changing as well. Engine oil looks pretty clean. No visible signs of oil leaks along the bottom there. Nothing around the side. There's not much to see around the back. Clutch slave cylinder appears to be perfectly fine. So under here it is okay. Now it's in the air, I can see this a little bit more. You see those bubbles all in the paint? So this side of the car needs painting, and you can see all the dents on the rear quarter. Somebody's opened quite a few cars on that. Let's have a look at these brakes now. Pads are okay, discs are a little corroded, but the car hasn't been used for some time, so that side's okay. Springs and shocker have some rust, but none of them are broke or leaking. The brake pipe at the back there has a little bit of rust on it, but it doesn't look like that would be an MOT fail or cause any holes anytime soon. A little bit of rust coming through underneath there, and that's a common point for holes to appear, so that will want treating ASAP. Again, on this side, they're okay. The final front wheel, again, pretty much the same. A little bit of rust coming through under there. And down there, that's not too bad. Right, let's just do a visual check from the back. It has got a stainless steel exhaust on it. It is going to be a little bit louder than standard because it is missing one of the silencers. Rear shockers are not leaking. It's still running the standard bushes. It's had new rear drop links at some point recently. It's had some new brake pipes at the back here, which they're very common for rusting at the back here, so that's one job that hasn't got to be done. Again, this side still running the original bushes. Let's have a look at the floor pan. No, it has a new bit of fuel pipe put there. Floor pan has had some treatment done to it. It needs doing properly because, as you can see, I can peel that back and reveal rust underneath it. It doesn't need any welding on this side, and neither has it had any welding from what I can tell. Yes, it has. Has it? Has it? Has it? Has it? No, I don't think it has. And onto this side, it's just been treated by the look of it. It hasn't been welded. No, I think we'll say no, it hasn't had any welding. But it could do with some TLC before it gets any worse. Engine wise, we have an oil leak. I'm going to say that's going to be coming from the crank seal because there's no oil up top. It runs right the way down and then stops around here. It's also leaking from the... I'd say that oil could have been from a clutch slave cylinder because you can see that clutch slave cylinder looks pretty new. So that could be leftover oil from when that had leaked. Wishbones visual check looks okay. Again, that side's okay, that side's okay. The CV boots aren't split. There's no leaking coming from any of the shockers. Underneath the chassis legs, there's a little bit of rust there, but no holes. And the same on that side, but less rust. Right, the radiator support has been covered in a ton of gunk. Radiator isn't in the best of condition. You can see all the fins are blowing through there. It's not leaking, but the fins are starting to wear out. Now I've pushed the badge back. You can see that it has been painted behind there at some point in its life. Probably due to fading again, but it is due again to be done. This is the covers for inside. It's got a spare wheel, it's got a jack. Nothing left in there, no CD changer. So, it's going to want a clutch, which is built into the price, so we'll discount that. It's going to want some paintwork doing to it, but other than what's been quoted, it does need the boot lid painting as well. It needs brake fluid changing, which will be about £60. Power steering fluid will be about the same. The gearbox leak, we need to check that, see if that is still leaking or just from the slave cylinder. That looks like it's been changed. We've got the crank main seal leaking. That can be done as a part of a clutch change, because the clutch change has got to be done, but that will be more expense on top of that. I think a new seal's about £35 and about half an hour to change it while the clutch is out. Clutch and gearbox are off. Need some rust treatment underneath, nothing major. That'll probably be about £150 to sort all that out roughly. Radiator isn't leaking, but it's getting on a bit. It doesn't need changing, but it will need changing soon enough. Radiators are around £80 and probably about 3 hours to change one. So overall not too bad. It probably wants a coolant change as well, because that coolant looked a bit dodgy, so that's going to be another little bit on top of that. So I know the customer is going to be watching this video, so hopefully he can make his mind up and see if it's worth buying or not. I won't state whether it is or isn't. I'll leave that up to the customer. But you guys will see this after he's watched it, so please comment below and see what you think about it. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the next one.